Before applying foundation, I start by spraying my Smashbox primer water all over my face. For primer, I'm going in with my Benefit Professional and I'm putting this in my T-zone. For foundation, I go in with my Hourglass Vanish Stick in the shade Bisque. It's a little light for me right now, but it's whatever. Grabbing my dampened beauty blender, I gently buff the foundation into my skin, and I like to take my time when doing this. For concealer, I use the Urban Decay Naked Skin in the shade Light Warm, and I put this under my eyes, on my chin, on my cupid's bow, down the bridge of my nose, and my forehead. Next, for a little added coverage, I go in with my Tarte Shape Tape in this shade Fair Beige, and I just put this in my inner corners. And once again, I blend everything in with my dampened beauty blender. To set everything in place, I go in with my Laura Mercier translucent setting powder and I grab a big fluffy brush and just lightly dust this all over my face. Don't like to bake because I find that it dries my skin out. To warm up my face, I'm using the NARS Laguna bronzer. Using that same fluffy brush, I dust this along my cheekbones, my forehead, and my jawline. For contour, I'm grabbing my Kat Von D Shade and Light palette and I'm going in with the middle contour shade and I'm grabbing this on a Morphe E48 brush and I'm using it to carve out my cheekbones. I go over that with a big fluffy brush to make sure there's no harsh lines. I then grab a small tapered brush to contour my nose. I always like to brush my eyebrow hairs out before going in with product. To fill in my brows, I use the Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade in the shade Medium Brown, and I use this on an IT Cosmetics eyeliner brush. I like to do quick brush-like strokes. To really get a sharp outline, I then go in with my Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil in the shade 5. To set my brows in place, I use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Clear Brow Gel. I then grab my Tarte Shape Tape and put a little on the back of my hand and dip into it with a Morphe M432 brush and just clean up all the edges. Then I go in with my MAC paint pot in the shade Soft Ochre and just grab this on my finger and cover up my eyelids and then set it in place with powder before going in with eyeshadow. Grabbing my Morphe blush palette, I grab a couple of the peachy shades and put it on my cheeks for a flush of color. Next, I go in with my Jeffree Star times Manny MUA highlighter in the shade Uranus, and I basically put this everywhere on my cheekbones, down the bridge of my nose, a little on my cupid's bow, a little on my forehead, and then just a little on my chin. Grabbing my Jaclyn Hill palette, I dip into the first transition shade using a Morphe M531 brush and just lightly dust this into my crease. This is my favorite transition shade brush. Grabbing my Morphe 3502 palette, I dip into just a warm brown shade on that same fluffy brush and just intensify my crease color. On that same palette, I grab an even deeper, warm brown burgundy shade and throw this lower into my crease using a Morphe R39 brush. I grab that same fluffy crease brush and just blend everything out. I then dip into the dark brown and black shades on a Morphe M506 brush and just lightly put this into the deepest part of my crease. Grabbing that R39 brush again, I just blend everything out. Grabbing some more concealer on an M421 brush, I start to cut my crease and create a half cut crease. I like to take this a little bit higher than my actual crease, being that I have such hooded eyelids. Dipping into that same Kat Von D palette, I just grabbed the two lighter shades and set that concealer. I grabbed a gold metallic shade and just put it in the center of my eyelid to create an ombre effect. For eyeliner, I go in with my Stila Stay All Day Waterproof Liquid Eyeliner in the shade Intense Black. And before applying mascara, I curl my lashes. For mascara, I go in with the Benefit Roller Lash. Dipping into some of the transition shades, I grab an E36 brush from Morphe and just smoke out my lower lash line. I go in with that same mascara to coat my lower lashes. Grabbing the lightest shade in the Jaclyn Hill palette, I highlight my inner corner and my brow bone. For lipstick, I go in with the Jeffree Star Cosmetics Velour Liquid Lipstick in the shade Unicorn Blood. Jeffree Star Cosmetics are some of my absolute favorite liquid lipsticks. Lastly, to set everything in place, I go in with my Morphe Prep and Set and my Urban Decay All Nighter Makeup Setting Spray because I like to be bougie and use two. And I always fan my face after spraying it with setting spray. And that's the final look, so I hope you guys enjoyed this first video. It was kind of a failed attempt, but I'll get better. Thanks, bye.